Good morning, children. Hope you all are fine. Okay, I have completed all the videos. I hope you all have gone through the videos. Okay, what I thought was today I thought of doing a little bit of revision. That is, I thought of giving you all extra questions. So I thought of doing our 14th lesson, natural resources. We will start with that, our new revision video, because this lesson is a little bit important for next year also. So I thought of giving you all some extra questions which will be useful for you all when you go to higher classes. Okay, so natural resources, we were talking about the topics air, water, soil, then biogeochemical cycles, and about ozone layer. This was the topics dealt in the videos. We saw that air, how is air helping in the our atmosphere, how it is keeping the life intact, and how it is polluted. Then about water, the water cycle, how the water is getting polluted, all those things we saw in the videos. So now we will discuss about question answers, the important one word questions first, then 2 marks, 3 marks, then 5 marks. So first, in today's video we will be discussing about a very few, maybe 10 to 12 one word questions. We will go into the questions. The first one is, name the process by which carbon is incorporated into life forms like plants. So how the carbon which is present in the atmosphere is getting incorporated into the life, that is the plants. From air, how this is getting into the living things. That is, the answer is, I told you it is one word answer. So the answer is only photosynthesis. We know that photosynthesis is a process by which plants are making food. It is taking water from the soil. It is taking oxygen from the nature. Then carbon dioxide from the nature, then sunlight, energy from the sun. So all these things put together, it is forming the glucose or carbohydrates. So that's how the carbon which is present in nature is getting into the living forms, that is the plants. So from plants it will be going to all the living things. Okay, so the process by which carbon is incorporated into the life forms like plants, it is photosynthesis. Now the next question, list any two human activities. The answer is combustion and deforestation. So these two things are the human activities which are one of the reasons why the carbon dioxide content is increasing in the atmosphere. Combustion means we burn, that is the fossil fuels like coal and petroleum. We burn so many other things. So all these increases carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere. And also deforestation, that is cutting down of trees. When you cut down trees, what happens? The carbon dioxide is increasing in the atmosphere. Only when trees are there, photosynthesis will take place. So the carbon dioxide is fixed into the plants. So combustion and deforestation. When there are no trees, no photosynthesis, so the carbon dioxide content is too much in the air. So that is why these two are the human activities which are responsible for the increased carbon dioxide content in the atmosphere. So that is the second question. Now the third one. State the temperature range on the surface on the moon. So the temperature range on the surface of the moon is it will range from minus 190 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees centigrade. So why is that happening? We already saw that in the moon there is no atmosphere present. Only in the earth we are having the atmosphere. So when there is no atmosphere, there is sudden rise in and fall in the temperatures. So that is why there is no life on the moon. Okay, next question. Name the different states in which water is found during the water cycle. Okay, so the answer is gas, liquid and solid. So we know that in water cycle, all the water is evaporating from the land due to sun's heat. So water evaporating means it is the water vapor, that is the gaseous state of water. So when this reaches to higher altitudes, when it is condensing, this water vapor, when it touches the cool surfaces, it condenses. So it forms the water droplets. So we are getting the liquid water, and when it is falling through, when this water droplets are falling down as rain, so what happens when it is falling through very cold temperatures, this will convert into ice. So that is the solid form of water. So that is why we can say that the different states of water in water cycle means it is gas, liquid and solid. Now the next one. How can the frozen water between cracked rocks causes the cracks to widen? So this is coming in the formation of soil. We saw that how the soil is formed. We know that the soil are formed from the rocks. The rocks are broken down by the action of the heat of the sun, rain and wind. So the rocks are powdered and soil is formed. So all this taking place million of years. It will take time. It is not taking in just 1 or 2 days. So due to the expansion and the contraction, that is due to the sun's heat, the rocks will expand in the morning, and in the evening when there is no sun, it will cool down. It will contract. So this alternate expansion and contraction of the rock will cracks will be formed on the rocks. So when water enters these cracks and when it is frozen, we know that ice will occupy more space than water, so that the cracks of the rocks will widen. It will become bigger. That's what it is meant. Okay. So that is the question. How the frozen water between the cracked rocks causes the cracks to widen. So we will see the answer. The water inside the cracked rocks expands on heating and it causes the cracks to widen. Next one, name 2 processes in which oxygen is used from the atmosphere. One is respiration and another one is combustion. So respiration, we all know that we are inhaling or taking in oxygen. This oxygen is carried through the blood. There is a red pigment in the blood called hemoglobin. This is the respiratory pigment. The oxygen will stick on to this hemoglobin and taken to all the cells. So in the cells, what will happen? The oxygen will reduce the carbon dioxide and release energy over there. The oxygen will reduce the glucose, the food present in the cells, and release energy. So this is respiration. So to break down the food, oxygen is needed, and to release energy. So that is during respiration, the oxygen is used up from the atmosphere. Next, combustion, that is for burning. We need oxygen to burn. So that is combustion. So respiration and combustion are the two processes in which oxygen is used up from the atmosphere. Now the next one is, name the gas produced when glucose molecules are broken down using oxygen. So it is carbon dioxide. So this process is also respiration, because when we take in oxygen, the food present in the cells are broken down using oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Okay, the next one is, name any two greenhouse gases. One is methane and carbon dioxide. So these two are the greenhouse gases. These are used in greenhouses to maintain temperature. These gas will not allow the temperature to escape. So that is why we call it greenhouse gases. Then next one is, name the atmospheric gas that leads to global warming. So which is the gas responsible for the global warming? Again, it is carbon dioxide. So too much of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere will cause global warming. Next, the 10th question. State the role of the atmosphere in the climate control. So how the atmosphere is controlling the climate. Atmosphere prevents sudden increase in the temperature during the day and night. It slows down the escape of heat into outer space during the night. So the atmosphere means it is a blanket of air covering the earth. So it will not allow too much of heat to enter into the earth, and during the night, the atmosphere will slows down the escape of the heat into the outer space. All of a sudden it will not go. So the atmosphere will control the amount of temperature suitable for the living organisms in the earth. The next one is, the large scale deforestation should be stopped. List 2 reasons to justify. So deforestation means cutting down of trees should be stopped. So list 2 reasons to justify this statement. Okay, first one, it destroys biodiversity. So deforestation means cutting down of trees. So when you have trees, you have lot of animals and lot of creatures living on it. That is called the biodiversity. Lot of it gives space for the home for the birds. It gives fruits for so many birds and insects. So there are so many animals and so many creatures dependent on the trees. So when the trees are cut, a lot of biodiversity is destroyed. So a lot of insects, animals which are interacting with each other, birds, all these creatures will be lost. So that is why we say it destroys biodiversity. Next, it causes soil erosion. That means soil erosion means the washing away of the top fertile soil by the action of wind and water. The roots of the trees are binding the soil together. So when you get flood or when you get wind, the soil will not be taken away. So that is why deforestation will cause soil erosion. Next, percolation of water into the deeper layers is prevented. Percolation means it is the movement of water through the soil to reach the underground water. So there is a water table below the ground. So what happens? The water, when there is soil, the water will percolate. That means the water will move down the soil and the rainwater will reach the water table and it will increase the underground water. So when there are no trees, the water will be washed off. if in case if it is concrete, or if the soil is tiled or concreted, the water will not enter the soil. So that these are the three reasons you have to prevent the cutting down of, you should stop cutting down of trees, so that we will lose all these things. So biodiversity is lost, soil is lost, and the water table is also lost. So we will have to prevent it. Okay, next question. Why are the root nodules considered a very important part for the plants? We know that nitrogen is also an important nutrient which plants need for their growth. The atmospheric nitrogen, as it is, the plants cannot take up. So the atmospheric nitrogen should be converted into a usable form for the plants to absorb. So what happens? The atmospheric nitrogen, some bacteria are there which are living in the root nodules of certain leguminous plants. I have told you, leguminous plants are nothing but the plants which are giving pulses, all the pyre varieties which you can say in Malayalam. So all these varieties of plants, in the root nodules there will be some bulging in the root nodules. So these are the places where bacteria are staying. So the plant will provide them with space for their life, shelter, and this bacterium is rhizobium, will fix the atmospheric nitrogen to these plants. So the atmospheric nitrogen is converted into usable form, and the plants can easily take the nitrogen. So that is how the root nodules are very useful for some plants. Okay children, I'll stop here. So these are few one-word questions. There are more which we will discuss in the next video. So I want you all to listen to the video, write it down, these extra questions into your biology notebook. These are very useful ones. We will be discussing that about the 2 marks, 3 marks and 5 marks. So in this video I have given you 12 one-word answers. So please write it down in your biology notebook. Hope you all understood. Hope you all will do so. Have a nice day. Thank you children.